Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's good to be back at the head of the table with you. And I want to thank the Ranking Member Barrasso, who asked me to cover for him this morning. As you mentioned, we're here to consider Ms. Maria Robinson to be Assistant Secretary of Energy for the Office of Electricity, Mr. Joseph DeCarolis. DeCarolis. Okay, we're going to get it right here. Mr. DeCarolis to be Administrator of the Energy Information Administration, and Ms. Laura Daniel Davis to be Assistant Secretary of the Interior for Land and Minerals Management. I welcome all three of you to the committee. Ms. Robinson, I look forward to hearing how you plan to help modernize the nation's electric grid, how you plan to help enhance its security and reliability, and how you will help facilitate recovery from potential disruptions in energy supply. Especially, we'll be looking for you to demonstrate your understanding of my state, which leads the world in microgrids, but has limited big grids, if you will, but a genuine need for assistance to help us lower electricity costs. Mr. DeCarolis, you should know that I am one who cares about the EIA. As I have chaired this committee over the years, I look forward to the review every year. You are an agency, an entity that we rely on, but we rely on you for nonpartisan information. I appreciate that in your testimony you highlighted EIA's legal obligation to operate independently of the administration's policy positions, and I look forward to hearing more about your plans for the agency. Ms. Daniel Davis, you are nominated for a position that is of great significance to my home state of Alaska. As the chairman has noted, I think all the members on the committee have interest in this position because of the very, very, very wide portfolio that you have. As you know, in Alaska, we have more federal land than any other state. Some can see that as a blessing, others may see it as a curse, but we need the department to be our partner, not our landlord. But that relationship has really taken a turn, I think a turn in the wrong direction in the year plus that this administration has been in office. The last individual named to this position as Assistant Secretary was a fellow by the name of Joe Balash. He was a friend of mine, fellow Alaskan. And when he departed this role, and when that last administration ended, I would argue that the department's policies toward Alaska were finally in a good place, or certainly a better place than they had been. Numerous Alaska projects were either approved or headed in the right direction. Our vastly outdated public land orders were being lifted. We were no longer being treated as one giant park or wildlife refuge. But unfortunately, it didn't take very long for this administration to knock much of that off track. We've seen action after action, decision after decision go against reasonable land access and resource production in Alaska. For oil and gas, for mining, for just about everything that we have and responsibly want to produce, whether it's up in the NPRA or over in the 1002 area or other parts of the state. And as a state that entered the Union with an agreement that resource production is how we would sustain ourselves and reach our potential, it's pretty tough. It's just pretty tough. It's worse than a simple broken promise. It's a broken statehood agreement. And believe me, people in Alaska discuss it just that way. And it's hard on everyone. The consequences of the administration's resource policies are clearer by the day. Commodity prices are way up, and so is inflation, causing pain for families and businesses. Our geopolitical leverage is down, which is what happens when keep it in the ground prevails over the use of our energy as a strategic and a diplomatic asset. Others are certainly happy to fill our void, that's no surprise, but they can't replace the United States as the world's swing producer. Nor is there any excuse for an administration that decides to go to OPEC for more oil and gas and to Canada and others for minerals while leaving our best domestic projects stalled out. We know that an energy transition is underway, but we also know that it's not going to be an overnight shift. The country, the world are going to need our traditional resources for a long time to come, and meanwhile, demand for minerals from projects like those that could be located in the Ambler mining district, the demand is only going up, and dramatically so. We need an administration that recognizes those facts and plans their policies accordingly. We should do everything that we can to advance clean and renewable technologies, and we need to do more of it yesterday. But that can't be paired with a fundamental incoherence on traditional energy and mining. And so our job is to make sure the Secretary of the Interior has a team that will facilitate the safe, responsible production of our domestic resources certainly including Alaska. So I look forward to the question and answer section of this hearing and the decisions that are being made in or really against my home state. So I look forward to the discussions, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.